Hello Kipsters, we are about to do a video number 6, which is decimal by decimal division. This looks really complicated, but as long as we follow one of our favorite songs, we are going to rock it out. Because this problem is all about place value. Most of them actually give you the different quotients, but we just have to figure out which digit that quotient should be in. Should it be in the thousands, the hundreds, the tenths, the ones, or the tens place? Let's check it out. Let's remember our song first though.
I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. You like to move it.
So let's go back to King Louie right about here. If you watch King Louie, he does the same thing on both sides. He moves, I like to move it, move it.
I like to move it, move it.
Let's check that out with our actual problem. So this is 84 thousandths divided by 3 tenths. It's really hard to roll our 3 tenths. Like we can do 3, 6, 9, 12, but it's hard to know, like if I have a thousandth and I divide it by a tenth, where my decimal should go. So what I really want to do is move my decimal. So we're going to take our pencils here and move this over 1. And then I need to move this one over 1 as well. Whatever I do to the divisor, I'm going to do the same thing to the total. So I move them both over 1. So King Louie in this situation would go, I like to move it, I like to move it. So step 1, we move the divisor. We always start with the number after the division sign to the right so that that number is a whole number. It was 3 tenths, now it's just 3 because we moved it over. Now we move the same thing on the total. So now it's 0.84. I'm going to rewrite there so we can see what it looks like. Now it's 0.84, so it now becomes 84 hundredths divided by 3. I much rather have a division problem where I'm not dividing it by a tenth, I'm dividing it by a whole number. Now we're going to rewrite the equation with the new place values. So I'm going to write 0.84 divided by 3. If we look at our answer choices, all of our answer choices have 28 in them, the digits 2 and 8. This is because we know we should get something about 28. However, we need to figure out where the decimal should go. So what I want us to know is that we're going to divide, multiply, subtract, bring down just like we normally do. But since this is where the decimal is, this is where the decimal has to go up here. And I'm going to do my decimal battleship and make sure it's all lined up. So that first thing that we're splitting is not just 8 wholes, it's 8 tenths. So my quotient has to go in the tenths place. So how many 3's are in 8 tenths? There are 2. 3 times 2 is 6. I'm going to subtract. I get 2 as a remainder. I'm going to bring down my 4. How many 3's are in 24? If I count by 3's, I can do it 8 times. So I should get 0.28. So I want to actually check to make sure this makes sense. I get 0.28. That's because this answer was in the hundredths. So my answer should be in the hundredths. Okay? Something cool we can also notice. I like to see it this way. This is a really efficient way you could do this. I like to notice that this answer has 3 numbers after the decimal. This has 1. So the difference between 3 and 1 is 2, which is why my quotient has to have 2. I can also check my work with multiplication to make sure I got it correct. We can do we can do 0.28 or 28 hundredths times 0.3. If we ignore the decimals, it's just like our decimal multiplication. 3 times 8 is 24. We group the 2. 3 times 2 is 6 plus 2 more, that's 8. But now I need to move it over, not just twice. I actually need to move it over 3 times. 1, 2, 3. So it's 1, 2, 3. So it's 0.084. And that, my friends, matches the original total, which was 0.084. So we know we got a 100. Let me make this super clear. What I want us to see is that all of the answers are given to us. 28, 2.8, 0.28, 0.028. We just need to be able to understand the place value. What I want us to see is because when we multiply, we actually have to count the place value. So it's 1, 2, 3. So because we know this has to have 3, that's why earlier I said this one has 3 and this one has 1. The difference between 3 and 1 is 2, which is why our quotient has to have 2 digits after the decimal, which is why our quotient is in the hundredths place. I'm really excited to see you guys practice correctly. Think about our song as you are practicing. I'm going to put it on a little bit longer so you can enjoy. Make sure you're doing problem A and B. Okay, never mind, it's not working. Good luck, hipsters.